This is... I want this in the recording because I'm going to get Josh to rewatch episode 1 after he does this, because he said he never wanted to do the recap again. He hated the fact that he was first name on it. But there you go. There we go. Mr. John Claude will be reading the recap this week.
He asked for it and everything. This is crazy.
I know. How weird is that? I just thought, I just wanted some airtime, I think.
You don't ask, you didn't get. There you go. You're in.
Honestly, I will say more words here at the beginning, and I'll be silent for the rest of the session.
Yeah, I think we had a comment saying, is John Claude still in the podcast? So, yeah, there we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, Jean-Claude.
Oh, man, I probably shouldn't have. I'm going to fuck this up because I haven't had a chance to pre-read it or anything. And
it's alright, that's me every week, mate.
And after listening to the...
Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, Jean-Claude.
In the last sessions, the Nine Hells Company licked their wounds in the safety of Sanctuary, finding themselves in a loose truce with Sigismund and Halazar, as they were summoned to a council by Elminster. All the leaders of every influential position of the Lord's Alliance convened at the table to discuss the coming war. After much back and forth in deciding what to do with the phylactery, Elminster decreed for everyone to set aside their differences, unify their forces, and venture to the Cloud Peaks to make a defense against the coming army of the dead. Shortly after, Gregory decided to leave behind his rivalry with Sigismund and requested aid from that guy, who's Laurel. I don't remember him.
L'Oreal is a woman. She is the blonde lady.
I don't remember.
L'Oreal Silverhand.
L'Oreal Silverhand.
L'Oreal.
Shortly after, Gregory decided to leave behind his rivalry with Sigismund and requested aid from L'Oreal to help unbind him from his entrapment with the devil, who currently held domain over him. Through a wish spell, Gregory successfully ascended to a higher consciousness, unbinding him from the Watcher's grip. We left off with the party as they took a long rest in the safety of Sanctuary before accompanying Elminster to Candlekeep.
Thank you very much for that, Mr. John Claude. So, as you all essentially retire to your rooms, as how you left off was you all decided you wanted to take a long rest before embarking anywhere, let alone accompanying Elminster or discovering how to destroy the phylactery, which you already know the method of. As you retire back to your rooms, is there anything in particular anyone wants to do before they go to bed? I believe we ended last session with you going to bed and doing any of this, but if there's anything that has cropped up that you're like, oh, I would like to prepare this, or I'd like to do this before I go to bed, say now or forever be at peace.
So, Oliver, is there anything you think that we should be preparing or doing?
I'm sorry, whose voice is that? I do not recognize that.
Talking with God.
Oh,
who's
zing.
Talking with God?
Ben.
Ben? Fuck Ben. Fuck. What's your name?
What's your... I built that fire over there.
Yeah.
Don't you bring my mother into this.
No, I feel like we've never prepared anything before going into a battle before. And we went shopping and everything, so I feel like we're quite prepared. You know, but then you start saying doubt by saying, oh, is there anything you guys want to prepare before going in? I think, there probably is something we should prepare, but it's not really how we do things, is it?
I can say, if you want to spend some time before bed, Fiddle, you can like go back up to the council room where there would have been just maps strewn about everywhere of like sort of rough detailing that different factions have passed between each other in terms of where army movements are and in terms of the coming threat. You can do that and glean some more insight if you so wish.
Yeah, that would be pretty good. Just get a lay of the current political landscape and where armies are and where people are.
Okay, yeah, roll me an investigation check. It might be good to refresh all your minds as well from last session.
Yeah. Nice, so that's a 13 I rolled.
Okay, for a
JC, you've come in too. Want to help me look through these maps?
Yes, I do. I think we should prepare for this battle. Something came to me while I was having a nightmare.
Yeah. I had the exact same idea.
Okay. Roll with advantage.
Thank you. Much better. 24.
24. Okay, so going over briefly what I detailed last session, there's an army of the dead that's approached out from the jungle of Chult, which is on a peninsula down the southern end of Faerun. It has made its way up through the border kingdoms, Kalimshan, Tevir, and Am. It's just recently devastated Am and has devastated the other kingdoms. So the other kingdoms have been absolutely devastated by this army of the dead, and Am is the most recent one to fall. The army of the dead is pushing northwards, and there is basically the defining borders between Am and the Sword Coast, which is the Cloud Peak mountain range. In there is basically where Elminster has decreed everyone, and you can see on all the maps, is like pushed everyone sort of like little tokens, so you get like little chess pieces or whatever that represents different factions, all getting their armies to push towards the Cloud Peak mountains. So everyone is arriving there. They're currently stationed at Waterdeep, and you can see that there are boats that are getting ready to basically convoy all the armies all the way down towards the Cloud Peaks. You've got Candlekeep just before the Cloud Peaks, which is where Elminster, Storm, and Lariel Silverhand are heading to basically bring the Candlekeep scholars into the fold and help essentially escort all the occupants from Cormyr out of the kingdom, as there is a second army of the dead which you have already sort of roughly encountered in the Gulfamere forest coming through from the Shining Citadel portal. So gleaning from that information, you can assume there has also been another portal that's opened up around Chult, similar to the Shining Citadel one, that has released creatures of the Shadowfell, undead hordes that seem to be just wreaking havoc on the material plane. So, you know, essentially where all the lords left off is they were all heading back towards their armies in Waterdeep, and they're all heading towards the Cloud Peak Mountains.
Beautiful. Good to know. So they're taking ships down. Are they like stopping at Candlekeep and walking the rest of the way?
Yeah, so that's essentially the plan, is to arrive at Candlekeep and then march the rest of the way. Some of them, you can see there's some troop movements from like Eltergard.
Yeah, Eltergard.
Eltergard and Baldur's Gate, who will be marching.
Scarambell.
But yeah, the rest are a bit further around, so Silvery Moon, Waterdeep. You did have the other one. Waterdeep, Silvery Moon, and Neverwinter. They're all sort of arriving at Waterdeep and then taking the boats down.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
But yeah, is there anything else that you asking for? Trying to use me as a soundboard for, like in terms of like, is there something in particular you're thinking of that you want to prepare for or think you should bring?
I think so. I think we're.
Can we like make sure we've all got like charged flasks of the hearth, and any sending stones we've got left are actually divided and not in like the bag of holding some shit?
I think we've only got one at the moment, which is the real annoying aspect.
You did buy some more from Halazar.
Ah, did we? Beautiful. Good to know. I'd completely forgotten.
Yeah,
about
so
that.
I actually think you got a surplus, so you could give one to Belladonna as well.
Nice, perfect. So we've all got one sending stone, and Belladonna's got one.
Yeah.
Flasks of the hearth. Can I find a fireplace in my bedroom or in the bar or something?
Yeah,
Where are we?
there's absolutely dozens. You're currently in the chamber, Elminster's chamber, where there was the big round table.
Oh yeah, okay, rocking.
Yeah, so yeah, you can go back to your room to find one. There's one in this room. There's one everywhere. Because you've mentioned it, you'll be able to do that. So
Cool.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, that's all I want then. And then I assume a long rest.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then I suppose.
Or are we dashing?
No, I think we're having a long rest and then we're dashing. I
Fiddle's
would like.
still in a state of like he had that fight in the Feywild about like 2-3 hours ago. So he's still definitely very injured, very hurt. Along with Gregory as well, even though he's okay. That's not true actually. Gregory did heal Fiddle, but he's still very much in like a very beaten up state. Same with Gregory as well.
Beautiful.
John Claude, I think you were pretty okay.
So I definitely need to go to sleep to help with that. I'd also like to just be thinking quite a bit about the phylactery, trying to come up with some clever alternative to killing somebody we love in a hamlet next to a fishing village or whatever.
God about that.
And, I'm not trying to research it or come up with a clever idea. I'm just going to think about it as I fall asleep, and hoping that some genius will strike me.
That was kind of my thinking for why you were heading to Candlekeep, because like from a DM's perspective, I was like, okay, that's an interesting choice, and I assumed part of the reason was like you were going to ask them if there were other methods or different ways you could kind of loophole this.
And by the time we get, once we get to Candlekeep, it will be a proper like research session, like running through libraries, finding old scraps of paper, looking at any sort of information they have on any kind of phylacteries being destroyed in the past. But that'll all be like proper research. I just want to fall asleep now and have like a think about it as I'm falling asleep, as I'm drifting off. You know what I mean? That's when inspiration strikes. Just when you like half forget about it and half fall asleep. So it might not work, but that's what I'm going to try and do.
Okay, cool. Gregory, is there anything you're doing?
No, not particularly. I guess I'm still just kind of wandering around in a dazed state.
Okay, so you're sort of just wandering around, still trying to find your bearings.
Yeah, because, I guess from, like, an actual character perspective, I have no idea what actually happened.
Yeah, so you wish for you to have the bond broken with the devil.
Yeah.
You no longer feel the tether, but you still feel Helm's presence.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well,
it's
I
definitely...
guess I'd be aware of that, but I wouldn't be aware of, what... Did I sacrifice anything? Or, okay, I guess I'm just sort of okay.
So, hold on. Did we just condemn Elizabeth to being trapped in hell forever?
Don't think so. I think...
Unless your wish spell somehow freed her. Freed her spirit. I don't know. It's beyond me. It's a question for a cleric, I think, rather than a wizard. I think that's what Fiddle is telling himself.
There's definitely ways you could get answers to that in game, like 3 different spells or mediums. There's a couple of ways you could get answers to that. Yeah,
I'll think about that later. Maybe I'll do like a contact other plane and see if I can contact Elizabeth. That'd be quite interesting.
Okay. Is there anything else anyone's doing before they retire?
We've got to save the world before we can retire. But after that, retirement village. No more working. Heroes gold forever.
For all the podcast listeners, Ben's the funny one out of the group.
We don't have any podcast listeners
if you couldn't tell. Yeah.
Nobody's listening after that one.
They've all got Okay, right. So, if there's no other business, you'll retire back to your beds, listening to John Claude's screams as he tries to find his puzzle box, as you all drift into a long and very comfortable sleep.
We're long resting.
Gregory?
Yes.
Roll me a religion check.
18.
In your sleep, in your confused state, as you try to figure out who you are, or what happened, what has become of the fate of this Elizabeth. You know she means something, but what she means to you, you're not really sure. You know she's just someone from your past, and you should be concerned. You don't know why. Your dreams drift you off into visions of a floating tower, almost like a giant castle turret that floats by itself and orbits around a plane. The house of the Triad. Its magical divine realm. And the home of Helm. The last time you were here, as you have arrived here once before. You arrived at the Divine Gates, but saw the whole Divine Realm set aflame by blue fire. This time, it's intact, in all its radiant glory. It's gorgeous. You feel at peace. You find yourself standing atop this floating tower. Again, almost like, bad analogy for this, but a satellite floating around a planet. You're just sort of orbiting around this divine realm, right on top, the very top of the turret, just looking over the edge. As the clouds pass by you and the wind blows in your hair, ever watchful, looking over the divine realm. But it's strange, it's almost like your eyes, for the first time, see true, see far. You can see past this divine realm. You can see all the realms. You can see the whole cosmology of the realm tree, and all the planes and how they interconnect and how they all serve the centre, the material plane where you were from. There was a man, Gregory Weisenhorn, from the Border Kingdoms. There was a man that had a wife. A man with an adopted brother. He seems like a stranger to you. But you can see him. You can see all the versions of him on this material plane. You can see everything. You can see his future, his past, his present. You can see all the tethers that bind them together. And you can see where each strand leads. And you can follow each strand and see what would have happened to this Gregory if he never met Elizabeth. Gregory if he saved Elizabeth. And obviously Gregory if he lost Elizabeth. Is there anything you're thinking of at this time?
I don't know. I guess I'm just taking everything in. Just taking in the perspective of, I can now see all of my mistakes, everything I could have done. And I suppose none of that matters anymore.
You are as if born anew. You're learning to walk again.
Mm-hmm.
You've got all these new different lamps. Again, it's a dream. This realm is on blue flame. It is on fire.
Mm-hmm.
This is a dream. This isn't the realm it should be. At the same time, it just feels so vivid.
Yeah.
Feed me. Echoes across the realm. Feed me. It carries in the winds this deep voice. You recognise it. Something that's always stuck in the back of your head. Feed me. You turn on the spot and find yourself into a forest clearing. Snow falling from the sky, just greenery surrounding you. A sharp pointed rock in the middle of this clearing with blood staining it and blood splats that line a path all the way to a town. And in this clearing, you look across and you see a figure standing there. Not Sigismund, as you would expect, but you. You look down, you see yourself again, Gregory Weisenhorn, and you look across the clearing and you see Gregory Weisenhorn. But this Gregory Weisenhorn is pitch black, silhouetted out. You can barely discern any distinguishable features. He almost looks like a shadow that stands before you. The only thing that sticks out, bright and burning, are his red eyes, as you see this Gregory staring across from you. You are a weak man, Gregory. You think you can save the world from the blue fire? You think you can stop Asarak from returning all of us to the void? All you have to do is kill a man that has wronged you your whole life. And even in that you failed. You think it was just divine luck that I ended back with the Nine Hells Company? It was by design. You see, Malar was the first god Asarak obtained command over. This ancient lich from another world approached me from the Amnesu, offered us all the souls we desired, if we slayed the man that holds the power to reach Asarak. If we claim back the undead hands that knave Sigismund stole, then we would feast in an endless void to all eternity. And as you see this figure across from you with his deep voice, you see it is the entity of Black Razor, but in your image, standing across from you, he is furious.
I told you when we first started our partnership, I wouldn't work for you for very long. They can consider our contract void.
That's where we'll all end up one day. Some sooner than others. I had such hopes for you. You had so
I'm sure
much
you
hate.
did, but I have no use for any of it anymore. I don't care about killing. I don't care about Sigismund. There's bigger things than this, and I'm sure something like you can't possibly understand.
All there is to life is feeding. Souls. Endless souls in the void. This is all that matters. This is the only truth. The one truth. Before you all came along, before the material plane, it was the void. And me. A forever hunger.
I swore an oath. And you made me forget that. I won't forget that oath again. I won't kneel any longer. I'll no longer be a slave to your desires. You may still feed, but I won't be the hand that feeds you.
Oh, I'll feed. I'll have to settle for the soul of a man who fancies himself a god. And you see the silhouetted shadow of Gregory Weisenhorn pulls Black Razor out from his back and gets ready to charge at you. I need you to roll me initiative.
Ooh. Alright, 18.
18. What's your initiative modifier?
0.
Okay. Sent the approved initiative to the chat. We are seeing a face down between Gregory and Gregory. Gregory, you are Gregory 1.
Okay.
And Black Razor is Gregory 2. So, you are up first. You still currently have Black Razor in your hand, and he has Black Razor in his hand. He is almost an identical to you. What are you doing?
Oh yeah, okay. Bum rush him. Let's do it.
Okay.
Yeah, how far away is he from me?
15 feet. 15 feet away. I'm sharing my screen with
15 feet, cool. Alright then. Let's do it. Yeah, I'll rush at him, and I'll take a couple of strikes.
Okay. Roll me to hit.
Or actually, can I haste myself, or is that count as an action? It will do, wouldn't it?
It will.
Yeah, I won't haste just yet then. I will just go for the attacks.
Okay.
Alright. First one. 26.
Yeah, I believe that hits your AC.
It should do, yeah. Okay. I will. So that is 18 regular damage. And 11.
18, 11, 29. Cool, so you strike once against this shadowy silhouette, and as your sword casts through, it finds purchase, but you see it kind of almost dissipates as the blade casts through the body, and then it kind of reforms again. It does do damage, like normal, but for flavour-wise, that's kind of like how this entity is sort of appearing to you.
Okay, and then I'll take my second strike. That's 29.
Yep, 29 hits.
And then I will throw on Staggering Smite.
Okay.
So it's 19 slashing, 12 radiant, and then 9 I guess additional radiant damage.
Okay.
No, it's psychic damage. And it has to make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. Your wisdom is plus 10.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have any advantages on anything. That is going to be a 26.
Yeah, it saves.
Okay. So at the end of your turn, Gregory.
Yeah, use my bonus action to pop on the thing. So yeah, that'll be everything.
Okay. Right. Black Razor Gregory's turn. He's going to take 2 strikes at you. The first one is going to be a... sorry, I'm just using your D&D Beyond. 18 to hit on the first.
It doesn't hit.
Doesn't it? And the second one is going to be a 29 to hit.
29 hits.
Okay, so the first one you parry away, and the second one kind of strikes up your shoulder.
Okay.
1d8. And it's going to put a Divine Smite into this as well. 20 points of slashing damage to you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And 8 points of radiant damage as he strikes up for the second strike. So you parry away the first one, the second one slices up your the left side of your chest, and then pumps a Divine Smite into you and kind of knocks you back a little bit. That's going to be the end of his turn.
Alright. Then I'll come back in. And I'll swing Black Razor at Black Razor one more time. .22. That should just hit.
Yeah, 22 just hits.
Nice. Then let's throw. So I'll throw a Thunderous Smite on.
Okay.
So that is 2d6 thunder damage. That's 7 thunder damage. Then 13 slashing.
Okay.
And 16 radiant.
16 points radiant damage.
And
Another
then,
like quake across the forest.
loud crash. Now needs to succeed on a strength check. Will be pushed back 10 feet and knocked prone.
Okay. That is going to be a 16.
Yeah, so the stave is 16, so I assume he makes it.
Okay. Yeah. So just makes it. You go to
Yeah.
launch him back, and he manages on his tiptoes just to steady himself.
Okay, have I done 2 attacks already, or was that my first one?
That was your first one.
Okay, then I'll take another attack.
Okay.
Oh, I said nat 20.
All right. That's when he
Hey.
definitely hits.
Very nice.
Okay.
Okay. Roll
Right.
your dice, double it, and then add your modifier.
So that's 19. Then 19 doubled is
38.
38. The 38 additional damage, please.
Okay. Slow motion as your sword carves through Black Razor, the entity. It slices through the shadow as it dissipates in half. And then as you do, you feel the cold grip of winter falling onto you from the snowflakes falling down onto your armor. You see a portal open up behind you, made of blue flame, ushering you to enter.
I told you you'd answer to me one day. And then, yeah, I guess I go through the portal.
Okay. You end up onto a floating tower orbiting around the House of the Triad. You launch through the portal, and you see Black Razor standing there once again. Fully formed and ready to fight you again. Roll me initiative.
Okay. Oh, that's a nat 1.
Oh dear. So, this is going to be Black Razor attacking you first.
Yep.
Runs over. First one is going to be a 5 plus 13. 18 to hit. Does not hit.
Nope.
Second one is going to be a 9 plus 13. 22 to hit.
Was that 23?
9 plus 13. 22.
Oh, 22 is my armor class, so it just hits.
Okay. So, that is going to be 18 points of slashing damage, and is going to put 2 points of divine smite into... a divine smite into it. 12 points of damage as you go kind of flying up in the air before landing back down, as the tower itself, as you land, almost kind of pivots. Like, your weight is enough to shift this gigantic castle turret that floats around this divine realm.
Yeah.
As that happens, Gregory, you see a bright, brilliant light erupts from your black razor in your hand. It starts vibrating before this huge sunbeam, almost like a god ray, just beams off from it, blinding you and the entity black razor alike. You have to shield your eyes as you see it quakes through the divine realm. And after a long moment, your eyes come back to you, your vision. You look down, and you see, in place of black razor in your hand, well, you can describe what the weapon is that you're holding.
Okay, so yeah, essentially it's the complete antithesis of what black razor is. So instead of a black obsidian sword, it's now a glowing beam of light. Yeah, the hilt is fancy. It's a fancy hilt. I don't know, Ollie. I hadn't prepared for this.
Yeah, I think you just your first sentence pretty much sums it up. It's the it's the night and day. It's the day version of Black Razor, called Lightbringer, a divine sword for a divine being.
Lightbringer.
As it now holds in front of you, and as you move the sword, Gregory, you feel the tower move with the sword, almost like a control rod. It pivots with you. You feel the tower. It is in your control.
I am the tower.
Okay, it's your turn. What are you doing?
Okay, I'll charge him with a Lightbringer.
All right. Roll me to hit.
19 doesn't hit. Damn.
19 doesn't hit.
This sword sucks.
See, Black Razor in your moniker. Next over to you, sir.
Then I'll take another attack. That's a 30.
Yeah, 30 definitely hits.
So 15 regular damage plus 12 additional radiant.
Okay, so as you strike up, you feel like this does a lot more damage to Black Razor than it should. Almost like he's susceptible to this kryptonite blade, this opposite sword, this sword that almost like it's Bane. As you see, Black Razor falls back onto one knee. What is this? And you see, it's very weird seeing yourself, gritting your teeth in this kind of evil form. You see his face, there's almost like these horns protruding around to kind of form a crown, a bit like the Night King sort of version. A lot more of like an evil looking Gregory in front of you. Is that the end of your turn?
Yeah, no, that'll be the end of my turn.
Okay, right, he's going to roll to hit you again. That is going to be... I keep rolling 5s for that one. So the first one misses. Okay, that one should hit. 24.
Does it?
Okay, that is going to be 13 points of slashing and another Divine Smite for 16.
Okay.
As he strikes up, first one misses, you parry it wide with Lightbringer, and then the second one he stabs it straight into your lower torso this time, and then pulls it back out, letting out a crimson spit. Back over to you, Gregory.
Okay. I'm going to give myself a quick lay on hands, if I can, if it counts as a bonus action.
It's an action, I believe.
Shield of Faith. It is, yeah. Damn. In that case, I'll keep fighting.
Okay.
I shall attack him with light.
Alright, roll me to hit.
First one is a 33.
Yeah, definitely hits.
And I shall throw on another Thunderous Smite. So I'll do attack damage first. So 15 regular.
Okay.
And 10 radiant.
Okay.
And then 5 thunderous. And he will also need to make another strength saving throw.
Strength saving throw from Black Razor. That is going to be a 15 plus 8, 23.
That saves it. Yep, to save.
So, he manages to stay grounded. Do you have your second attack?
I do.
Alright, roll me to hit.
31.
Yep.
So that's 20 slashing.
Okay. This Black Razor dissipates into shadowy mist once again.
I didn't
See a
even
portal
have me,
open up.
Here's another
Across
one.
from you.
Okay. If I have to do this 1,000 times, I will.
Okay.
Before I go through, I would like to expend my lay on hands, please.
Of course you can.
Yeah, I used the full 70.
Full 70. Okay, Gregory, you heal yourself 70 hit points as you stand atop the orbiting tower of the Divine Realm of the Triad before heading back through the blue flame once more. So, in this image, as you come through the portal, you see what essentially is here. If you imagine like a layer of an abyss, of the abyss, where it's just obsidian rock as the ground all around you, and then encapsulating the small circle, almost like a clearing, is dark mist. And in this dark abyssal clearing, we see a rock jutting up in the middle, with a figure laying across from it and a blade stabbed through its torso. As you can see, Black Razor, the entity that's mimicking your appearance, is stabbed by Black Razor the sword onto the rock. You look over at this image, and you can see he's looking over at you as he's struggling to breathe. You see like his powers fading. If you almost imagine like It, Chapter 2, where he's sort of shrinking and his power diminishing, it's sort of happening with that as you walk through the rift. Wings sprout out from your back. You're wearing different kind of armor to the one you did before. I know that you have a little bit of a description for.
Yeah, so essentially my helm now has wings on top. So like a crest, and there's like an eye made out of, I guess, diamonds in the middle.
Yeah, and I don't know if you wanted to go with the whole mithril themed armor, even though keeping it with your same armor, rather than taking the mithril armor. But yeah, essentially,
I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah, he's looking a bit more angelic, I guess is a good word to encapsulate it, as you see this deformed, decrepit, and evil version of yourself stabbed up against a rock as it looks over to you with its red eyes and raises a hand, reaching out for help. Gregory, please, we can achieve so much more.
No, we can't. Not anymore. I still offer you hope. I take a step closer while I get up to the rock.
Okay.
I'll draw Lightbringer.
Okay.
I offer you redemption. I plunge Lightbringer down into my chest. Well, Shadow Gregory's chest.
Yeah, I'll say that hit. It'll hit. It's an easy enough target. He's not moving. He's stuck on the spot. You stab it through the Shadow Gregory's chest. You see his form is starting to fizzle out. Is there anything else you're saying, or are you just waiting to see what happens?
Find peace.
You see, snarls at you as his body fades away, his arms fade away, the legs. He snarls at you. Hope Elizabeth enjoys hell. As you see his snarl fades away with his face, and Black Razor becomes stuck in the stone, and all the shadow dissipates around you. You see that is essentially, due to your divine power, become burnt into the rock. And the surrounding area to you, what looked more like an abyssal plain, reveals itself to be a mountain. A mountain of white plume, where the sword is laid to rest, and hopefully out of anyone else's grip. And with that, you'll take a long rest and wake up in the morning. You all hear on your doors, Fiddle and JC, you first. Hello, wakey wakey. As you start hearing the familiar voice of the kobold waiter who stands outside your door, and he's like knocking on the door. I have a message from Elminster. Can I come in? And he's just like knocking on your door, John Claude.
Yes, you may come in. Get in here already.
Okay.
Get it over with. I'm sick of hearing from you already.
He walks in. He's like, Elminster wants you all to get ready in 5 minutes as he's leaving for Candlekeep. And he said, if you're coming, you better come now.
Thank you very much. Get out.
Do you want me to stay and help you dress?
I will fucking finger your bumhole with this cactus. I suggest you fuck off.
You see Belladonna's behind you already, like going to grab for the bow. And he's like, okay.
Done the cactus.
I'll see you in 5 minutes. And then he does the same to each one of you. So you next, Fiddle. It's like, Elminster wants to come see you. Do you want me to help you dress?
No, I'm all good, thanks. Tell him I'll be there soon.
And then comes to yours, Gregory. And he's like, hello.
Away from me, beast.
Okay. And then like sneaks back out. So, you'll get dressed and you'll meet each other outside the foray of where your beds situate, and the moving staircase is before you up towards Elminster's chamber. Is there anything you're doing before you go?
I'm not sure, no. Did I have any crazy dream about how to fix the phylactery situation?
In terms of a dream, you can roll me a history check.
A history check, not arcana.
Yeah. This is more recalling your studies. They are studies into the arcane, so I think there is an argument you could use arcane. So,
your intelligence
I'll allow
arcana
it.
check measures your ability to recall lore about spells, magic items, eldritch symbols. Yeah.
Okay, I'm convinced.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
No. This is all why players should argue their points, because like sometimes they are right. Sometimes.
26. Sometimes, not very often, but sometimes.
No.
26.
26. Okay. So, as you go to sleep and you think about the studies in Candlekeep and scouring through the vast library they have, and you feel like you tapped barely 5% of it when you were there. Because, again, you didn't have full admin.
Yeah.
You weren't a avowed, you were a seeker. You do believe that there was a forbidden section on necromancy that you did find your way into accidentally, air quotations, and it did talk about phylacteries and the unique magic to it, because it doesn't convey to the Lords of the Weave. It doesn't convey, out of game terms, the mechanics of D&D. In the fact that it's almost like a ancient ritual that you have to recreate. There are ways around this. it's not the only way to destroy a phylactery. And you feel like if you pursue that course of action back in Candlekeep, you might find some more answers.
Okay, interesting. Interesting. So I need to think of some other clever way to do this, and hopefully there will be some help in Candlekeep, because it doesn't convey to the rules of D&D, which in universe means it doesn't convey to the rules of the weave. So I need to find some way of not using the weave, which out of D&D means I need to convince the...
So to give you a more straight answer, there are other methods to destroying a phylactery.
Beautiful. That's good to know. I just need to convince you to let us to use one. Essentially.
As you all meet outside the...
Yeah, need to discover one in universe.
Yes.
Very nice. I like it, okay. Yeah. Straight to Candlekeep then, I think, today.
So, you all meet outside the foray. You got the moving staircase in front of you. You see that some of you have had a better night's sleep than others, with John Claude screaming from his PTSD and Gregory seeming a bit distant than usual.
You okay, Gregory?
Yes, Fiddle, I do believe I am.
Nice. Good. Good.
Yes, yeah.
Nothing to worry about indeed. How do we all sleep?
Nothing to worry about at all.
He looks...
Yes.
He looks different than before. And the main thing that you notice, Fiddle, is where the fuck's Black Razor? He's got a different sword on now and different armour.
You know what, you're looking awfully less evil today.
Yes, Fiddle. Yes, I am.
No evil sword on your back. I like it.
Check this out. I pull Lightbringer out.
Shing.
Yeah. I feel like you all got the headcanon image.
Yeah, to the chorus of angelic singing.
Yeah.
What's going on my levels, by the way, Ollie? What's happening?
So, Gregory Weisenhorn is now level 20.
You what?
Yeah. Yeah.
Amazing.
So,
good to know.
Yeah, I'd like to preface this by saying that I only asked for a level 20 spell. Just like my last one.
Yeah.
That's all I asked for, but Ollie said, you know what, given what's gone on, you might as well just be level 20. And I said, well, you know what, if that's the way you want to do it, that's the way we're going to do it.
If I must.
Yeah.
And I'm very happy. Sounds amazing.
Yeah, that's cool.
Sounds beautiful.
So you got this
take,
angelic Gregory.
Take a couple of steps back, so he pulls out this sword and like He-Mans it up to the sky, and some sunlight comes in through the window and beams down onto him. I just take a couple of sort of steps back and lean over to JC. I go, does he look stronger? Does he look like more capable? I think he would take more punches to like knock out now.
Well, I did think he'd put on weight.
Hey, it's a stressful time for all of us, alright?
I can hear you.
What's that, fatty?
Hey.
It's canon now.
Yeah. He's a fat 4.
I'm still worthy.
That was good. Nice. Well, I like your new sword. It's amazing.
Yes.
It really is.
You'd never believe what I had to do to get it.
What?
I had to kill Black Razor several times.
Really?
Really, he looked just like me. Bit of a prick, if you ask
I always knew
me.
you were evil. But it sounds like you've killed your evil part.
Yeah, I know, right?
Nice.
That's subconscious for you.
You know what? Put it there. And I put my hand out to shake his hand. And I go,
I put it back
wait,
down.
Hold on. I like go to take it back. I go, no. Nah, actually, yeah. Nah, go on. I go to put my hand out again.
Huzzah.
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 Huzzah. Welcome, non-evil Gregory. We hope.
Well, I've actually been thinking about the Let's even think about the name of the company. What do we call ourselves? The Nine Heavens.
Terrible, but we'll work on it. I'm open to a conversation about changing the name, because Nine Hells is a bit wrong, isn't it?
Huzzah!
Huzzah!
As you two are talking, Belladonna pulls you aside, John Claude, and she's like, John Claude, I've been thinking about this task that we've been set by Elminster with the phylactery. I know you lot are saying about finding different ways to maybe go around it, but if worse comes to worse, you can
Shut your pie hole. Me. We already did this last week. I volunteered as tribute, and we're going to Candlekeep. Don't you worry about it.
Yeah, but I don't want you to volunteer.
No, it's alright. I got this.
Don't worry, guys. I think I might be able to think our way out of this one.
I'm not convinced.
Trust me on this.
Can we not just put Fiddle in there? I mean, how close are you two really? Like, you've only known him like a month.
Well, if he's not that close to me, it won't work. Yeah, it's got to be a loved one. Yeah, shut up, Belladonna, you idiot. Trust me on this. I've got this. I think I'm just going to be able to think our way out of this. I think.
But your plans never work. I mean, Gregory.
They always work. Well, what? Shut the fuck up, Belladonna.
Oh, whoa! Are you gonna let him speak to me like that, John Claude? Just like looking over at you.
My plans never work. What the fuck?
You're a big girl. You can stand up for yourself, pet.
Alright, fair enough then.
I'm just
Fiddle in the cabinet is. Just for the lols. Huzzah!
Huzzah!
Okay, so you all head up to Elminster's chamber. As you walk through and you see the large circular room, you can see Elminster is currently sat there waiting for you lot, along with Storm and Lariel Silverhand either side, the two 6 foot tall half-elven women with long silver hair. You see Elminster himself is in a wheelchair, and Storm and Lariel are sort of like standing either side, like got a hand on there, but assuming Lariel's going to push him around. He's like, finally. You had a nice sleep in, did you?
We're now well rested and ready to save the world. If that's what
all
you
right.
mean.
So you're coming with us to Candlekeep then?
Well, that was the plan, but I think Belladonna
So did set you a task.
knows best. I think she might have to come up with the plan this time. Isn't that right, Belladonna?
She's looking over at you and she's like,
got a problem with this plan?
no, it's a good plan.
Thank you.
You see Elmish just looking around. He's like, right. Stay close. Don't slow us down. We are short on time. I have set you a task and I expect you to fully see it out. We need all of us to pull together now. And you see he starts like wheeling with Lariel behind him towards the room to the left, which leads to all the teleportation circles with Storm trailing behind and ushering for you lot to join them.
Sounds good. Are we going to Candlekeep, yeah?
Sorry?
Are we going to Candlekeep, Elminster?
Yes. Sorry. Yes, that's exactly where we're going now.
Good. Perfect. And away!
And you see they come up into this long turret on this tower. Again, there's loads of smaller turrets that jut off from this piece, and in each individual turret that juts off is a different teleportation circle to a different bit of Faerun. There seems to be dozens upon dozens upon dozens. You feel like Elminster in his head has picked up a lot of teleportation circles over his years and has all manifested them in this plane. There's absolutely there's towers that lead off to places that are completely irrelevant. It's like a teleportation circle that is about 2 minutes walk away from the other one, but there are absolutely loads. It's this whole catalogue that seems to be just laid out for all to bear, and it leads to the one, Candlekeep. And Candlekeep only has one turret that juts off, which is to the House of the Avowed, I believe, or the Pillars of Pedagogy. That one. That is the one where you all went into the teleportation circle and went over to Cormyr. He leads through, and then, assuming the rest of you come through, he lights up the glyphs, and you all travel to Candlekeep.
No, so not even Elminster can teleport into Candlekeep proper.
So,
No.
for all the listeners listening, the references I've used for Candlekeep is all in the DM's Guild, and I highly recommend them. We did like a short little adventure here. There was a lot more to do with my party, but we had a little bit of an adventure here, and there was very little on Candlekeep, even in Candlekeep Mysteries, in terms of the inner ward. So I really recommend these resources, which is Candlekeep Confidential on the DM's Guild by Wizard Sleeve Studios, and Candlekeep Codex, which is Xango Games. Sorry if I butcher that. But anyway, this is where I've pulled these resources, which I will leave links to in the description. I want to say thank you, Bobby and T, for bringing up, mentioning that as well, because that is something I wouldn't mention otherwise in a previous session. So, as you come through the teleportation circle, you see there is an Avowed there at the desk at the bottom. You see Elminster sort of like in his wheelchair, kind of bouncing down all the stairs. He's having a rough time of it, constantly coughing and spluttering. Before you head out into the Court of Air, there is nor a tree nor a well that decorates this wide stone courtyard. You see people dressed in black robes of various different races walking in small groups across the courtyard, similar to school kids hanging out during their break. You see other small groups, people wearing brown robes, seemingly more vigilant and keeping an eye on all the black-robed individuals, seeming like the teachers of this courtyard. The tall stone walls that form this area reach around to the other side of the corner next area of Candlekeep. So this seems to be one of two courtyards. There is a closed giant emerald door that bars the way to that other courtyard as you head over towards the emerald door. The emerald door is the main point of entry to the inner ward and sits on the western wall. It's 15 foot tall and made of translucent dark green stone that shimmers with an inner light. With this, I'm going to have Fiddle and anyone else that is proficient in Arcane roll me just an Arcana check.
That one.
That one. Okay. Assuming no one else is proficient. Yeah, you know there's lots of wards on this door.
One. I'll take a roll.
Are you proficient in it?
I don't think he is. No.
I got 19.
Then I'll say I feel bad. That's a good roll as well.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, the proficiency and expertise is what I'm trying to implement is sort of like your passive. So in terms of your passive perception and investigation, this is just stuff your character would look for in a day-to-day. That check would have been specifically for Fiddle or anyone else of the Arcane to actually detect what kind of spells are on the door.
I mean, if we're looking at my passive Arcana, it would be a 26.
What do you mean your passive Arcana?
Well, your passive is like 10 plus whatever your modifier is, right?
Well, yeah, but it's it's not like the free given.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, there's lots of wards on here. Gregory's like, oh yeah, I see lots of wards.
Yeah, you rolled a nat 1, but I mean, it wasn't for like anything else really, though, was it? You still had your modifier, which brought it up to 17.
Yeah, but nat 1's a nat 1.
Ollie runs it. Ollie runs the games as a nat 1 as a nat 1. But yeah, you're alright. Rules as written, it'd be a 17. But I like the nat 1 as a nat 1 because it means that a nat 20 is always a nat 20. Which is quite nice as well.
You always have a chance to succeed, even if it's something that's unreachable to succeed. Yeah. Which is the main reason why I do that rule. Anyway, in front of the Emerald Door is Gate Warden Xeris, which, to jog your memories, I'll send the photo aid over, but it's a tall tiefling male with long curved horns, long black robe, and a staff. He's got glazed over white eyes. If you picture Heimdall from the 4 films, sort of similar to those themes. As tiefling male, white eyes, long black cloak. The keeper uses runners to find seekers lodging at the house of rest and places to study at the pillars of pedagogy for messages back and forth, which is information you lot already know. As you walk behind Elminster in his wheelchair, and his wheelchair has caused an absolute ruckus in this courtyard as the wheels roll over the stones, creating tons of noise before it stops steady in front of Gate Warden Xerus. As you see, not even acknowledging him at first as he approaches before looking down. Ah, Elminster. How long's it been? He sees looking around. Like, I have no time for this, Xerus. Stand aside, let us through. You see Xerus looks round at the rest of you and then looks back at Elminster. He's like, are you all looking for passage into the inner ward? And you see Elminster's like, oh, for God's sake. Yes, man, obviously. Now move aside, their time is short. And you see he's looking around, he's like, do you have a pass? Do all of you have a pass? You see Elminster's like massaging his nose. He's like, no, I do not have a pass. I sent a letter to Illustrial, who is here in the inner ward, just past those bloody walls. If you just go and get her. And you see Xerus just cuts him off straight away, and he's like, if you do not have a pass, you cannot enter across the Emerald Door. We do not make exceptions, even for you, Elminster.
Does Candlekeep let us in if we have a book that they don't have? Is that still is that the rule originally, or do you need a pass specifically?
You see Xerus, so
something that you could, if you give them a book that they don't have in their library, they let you in.
Shouldn't I have a pass? When I've been in?
So
you have been in. No, I had a pass, but I needed to get it renewed, and it only lasted 7 days or whatever.
So essentially, how this works, because obviously it's been a while since we've been back here anyway. To get into the Court of Air, which is the first area you're in, and to become a Seeker, is a book to get through the first gate, but to get through the Emerald Door, you have to be an Avowed, or you have to be sponsored by an Avowed, and it lets you in for a 10-day. But essentially, all Seekers stay in the Court of Air. There are lodgings in there are study areas, but if you want to get a book from the library, you have to get an Avowed to go through the Emerald Door for you and bring it out.
Yeah.
It's very much just one of those very RC rules. As you have to follow the rules. There's no exceptions for people, and you can see Elminster's definitely fallen into the trap you lot did last time with Gate Warden Xerus. And you see this tiefling female run up, who you will recognise as Avowed Lildani.
Hey, Lildani. I recognise you.
Fiddle, you recognise, and she's like, oh, hello.
Hello.
Do you remember when we were supposed to meet?
Of course I do. I never forget anything. Unfortunately, I've been saving the world.
Is that
you heard
right?
of Azaracht? You heard of the army of the undead? Am's just fallen.
Yeah, you heard about the forbidden book that I took out the library to get for you, only for you to not meet me.
What do you mean?
You asked me to go get a book from the library. I went and got the book.
Yeah.
I went to the meeting place where you asked me to meet you.
The Alcaster.
And you weren't there.
The Alcaster?
No, the other one.
Ah, I see. I do remember. Yes, of course I remember. Very sorry about that. As I said, the
what do you want, Gate Warden Xerus? And you see she just completely cuts you off. And you see he's like, Lildani, can you please run a message to Illustrial Silverhands that Elminster and his companions are seeking entry through the Emerald Door? And she's like, right away. And she gives you one last kind of snarl fiddle before going through the Emerald Door.
Just quickly.
Yes.
I want to make it up to you. Here, and I hand her Azarax spellbook.
You see her eyes glow up. Are you serious?
I'm serious. This is more important than anybody. We are here to literally save the world. Please help us with whatever you can. I want to make this right, so this is yours now.
Roll
Please help
persuasion
By
check
the
with
way, Fiddle,
advantage.
he's a tripod.
Fuck's sake.
I've got you, Fiddle. Don't worry about it.
Okay. It's 23.
23. As she goes to go through the door, and you notice as she goes to enter the door that's semi-translucent almost becomes completely transparent. There's just the outlines of the door that kind of remain, and a green hue that kind of lines the edges of the gap. And then she steps away, and the door kind of reverts back into its semi-translucent form before she walks back down the steps, past Gatewarder Xeris towards you, Fiddle. Takes the book, looks you up and down, and looks over at Gregory, and she's like, "Is that true?"
Oh, completely. Look at me. Would I lie? No.
She looks over at you, Fiddle, looks you up and down once more. She's like, "We can talk." And then she walks around and goes to walk back through the emerald door and disappears.
Pretty good being a god. Pretty good.
You're not a god.
Pretty good.
You're like a champion of god, or like a part of a god.
You see
At best.
Elminster looks over his shoulder up at you, Gregory. He's like, "All right, pipe down, mate. You've got 3 Trojans and Mistra here, so you know."
Yeah, but how many Chasers of Helm are there? Just the one.
Okay. All right, it's just going to be a long wait.
Can I say except you're welcome?
So you're essentially waiting outside in the Court of Air for an hour to get some word back. So if there's anything you want to do in the downtime, or we can skip ahead the hour. Okay, right. After an hour, you see avowed little Darnie come back through the emerald door, and following her is this half-elven female. 6 foot in stature, long silver hair that falls down past to her thighs, wearing long robes, and is carrying a staff to her side. You feel like you're seeing deja vu or something as you look to the 2 twin sisters and look over, and there's a third. And you're like, what the fuck is going on? They all have this. They all have distinguishable features, but they all look the same. They all have the long silver hair. They all have the beautiful high cheekbones, the chiseled jaw, the long slender figure, very tall, and all seem to be arcane, have some sort of arcane ability. As this third sister comes through as Illustrial Silverhand.
Illustrial Silverhand, it is lovely to meet you. My name is Fiddle. I'm with the 9 Hells, and we're here to try and save the world.
You see, she looks over at you. I took a screenshot of the photo aid, but you know, just take it as you will. She's like,
Oh, thanks.
because obviously it's just that's just the resolution of it. I'm sorry. I thought the photo was a Discord friendly photo. I was wrong.
It works.
Yeah, she looks over at you, Fiddle. She's like, "A pleasure, Elminster. If you want to come through." And you see Elminster, who's like been like completely grumpy this entire hour and just been like huffing and puffing on the spot. He's like, "Oh, it's about time." And he stands up and kind of pushes the wheelchair back and takes a walking stick and starts sort of like walking up past Gate Warden Xeris, who kind of just looks over emotionless at Elminster, as Elminster looks up at him and sticks his tongue out at Xeris before walking past, very childish, as he walks past.
Are we not
Are
coming?
we going with him or?
Yeah, we walked
Yes,
in.
obviously you're all coming with us.
Okay,
Come on.
Hey, Jesus
Okay.
Christ. Helms, bells.
It's Gregory's bells now, actually.
Gregory's bells.
The DM is regretting his decisions already.
This guy's bells. Come on then, let's go.
So, you walk past the emerald door into the inner ward. You are met with the miasma of misshaped buildings, tall pointed spires, and general architectural chaos Candlekeep is known for. All the buildings to the northern side of the ward, which take up a huge chunk of the area, looks as if the buildings from different regions of the world have been plonked on top of one another and held there by bridges that connect one building to the next. One of the tallest buildings sits in the centre of this ward. Exaltation, a huge fortress of a building that reaches to the clouds with its highest of 3 spires. In here is where most of the Avowed live and where classes, offices and general study of magical arts is practiced. The whole ward is centred around this one building. So, as you walk in, you walk through the emerald door and you see there's these kind of golems, almost like shield guardians that kind of stand guards that have these anti-magical cone effects. That, again, all of this is familiar to you because you've all come through this side once before. And you see waiting on the other side is a figure you recognise, Fiddle.
It's my man.
As he looks over, he's like,
Great
"Oh,
Brent.
by my bed.
Brenty!
Oh,
How's it going?
Come here, my old friend." And he kind
Come
of
here.
comes in to embrace you for a hug, kind of kneels down.
Yeah, I make a box that I can stand on. I give him a big old hug.
Okay, so it's quite a heartwarming hug as well. He's very welcoming, very warm. Brings you in, and he's like, "Elminster, it's just a pleasure to..." And you see Elminster cuts him off. He's like, "This is no time. Come on. I need to speak to the council now." And you see Elminster starts like walking on with the walking stick, and you see Brantafrat looks over at you, Fiddle, and he's like, "He's a bit grumpy, isn't he?"
He is, yeah, but, you know, what can you expect? He's very, very old and, you know, trying to save the world, and it's difficult saving the world, I'm not going to lie. Hanging out with great wizards and gods. But, you know, we knew we knew I would go far when I left, right?
Yes, it's true. Well, can I tell you a secret?
Of course.
Elminster, he's a bit of an asshole.
That's no secret.
Well,
That's no secret, not to anybody who's met him.
yeah, this is true. Come on then. And you see, like, walks side by side with you, Fiddle, and sort of having a quick catch up as you head towards the.
Yeah, I tell him what's happened.
meeting.
Tell him we got the phylactery. Tell him we basically everything that's happened. I speak to him about the research that I'd like to do into how an alternative way, because Elminster has tasked us with basically killing one of our own, and I think that's a bit of a dick move, so I'd like to not do that and do it some other way. And yeah, see what his opinions are. Use him as a bit of a sounding board. And, you know, an expert of Candlekeep, somebody who lives here, he might have a good idea of where to go.
Roll a persuasion check.
2. Another 1. Don't believe it.
He seems to have no more information. He says you may be free to search the library, depending on certain circumstances being met.
Cheers,
But
Francie.
isn't very giving on what those circumstances are.
Yeah, I think my talk about Candlekeep just goes into like a bit of a rant about how they're terrible and they hide information from people who are just trying to do it. Everybody who lives there is an idiot and just stifling the world of education. And then too late I realised, and I go, yeah, I mean, obviously not you. Obviously not you. You're alright.
You were never one to stay in the educational format. I know, you're a free spirit.
Not the
This is
format
fine.
they've got. You've got to agree, it's a disaster. An absolute disaster. The problem is that evil wizards are always going to get their hands on the information they require. And we just don't have enough heroes in the world to save them. We stifle the knowledge because we're too scared of Aceracts and the Malars of the world. to bother giving anybody a chance of hell of defeating them. We have the information here to defeat him, and we don't bother, we lock it away. Too scared for our own good.
You may be right, my old friend. But a lot of people have a lot of conflicting opinions, and we have to come to one consensus, and it might not be the one we like, but it's the one that keeps us alive, keeps our history alive.
Yeah. I'm sorry for insulting your home and insulting your way of life. We're okay, right?
Of course we are. You are a friend. You're always welcome.
Thank you, Brenty.
You do feel like there's the undertone of like he is a great reader and he does have responsibilities that take him above the affections he has, and you do feel like when he says there might be stipulations that need to be met, you've got a fight on your hands in terms of like trying to get whatever you want. Any sort of leeway with these guys, there's going to be a bit of a fight as you arrive up into the chamber. So you travel into Exaltation. Again, the way I kind of pitched this is almost like a Hogwarts sort of style layout. I know I've used that with the stairs already, but like you've got the mess halls in here, you've got the classrooms, you've got the offices. A lot of the day-to-day studies take place in Exaltation, the big building in the centre.
Yeah. And
you find yourself travelling to one of the side turrets, which is another thing I seem to be saying a lot. You enter onto this large stone disc that fits into the recess of the floor, and it runs the perimeter of the turret. It is huge. It's enough to fit about 20 people on there at once. You all step on, and you see Brantefract whispers a command word, and the glyphs on the stone disc all light up around you, lighting up the turret into a blue hue, and the elevator starts lifting up as you start floating up. You feel like you're floating up for a good 2-3 minutes up this turret, as it is absolutely huge, before you reach the top. And as you come level with a archway, you see in front of you seems to be the great chamber of Candlekeep, where all the great readers meet. You see there is a large open plain floor with a circular sigil in the floor in the centre where people go to stand on to speak, and then on the opposite side is a raised platform with a long table where all the great readers are already sat. There is 5 in total. There's 4 there, and they're waiting for Brantefract to walk around. So as you all exit into the chamber, you see Brantefract walks around and joins the table in front of you. You see there's Great Reader Brantefract, which I've already sent the image aid for. There is Great Reader Finland Cannavaro. This character here, Finland Cannavaro, who is a elderly halfling or gnome, elderly gnome.
Very nice.
Great Reader Avonder Alof, who is a drow. Very beautiful in features, very handsome. Great Reader Bartholomew. He's very rugged. He's got sort of rags that drape over his head, and he's got a long grizzly beard, and seems to be very much one with nature, very druidic in his look. And sat in the centre of all of these, you see a small gnomish fellow, a long, very groomed triangle-like beard with a flicked at the end moustache. He is wearing a medium length white hair that kind of slicks back and falls past his ears. He is wearing robes that have many different eyes that are all looking out from it. And you see he is staring directly at all of you as you see Keeper of the Tomes, Archibald Zarnato.
What's your name? Archibald.
Sitting directly at the centre. You fiddle. Actually, I'll have all of you roll me a history check because this is a new scene, so it's the passive.
Nice, 23.
23.
17.
17.
19.
19. So all of you recognise this. This is Keeper of the Tomes is the highest honour in Candlekeep. He is essentially the one that runs the day-to-day. You've got the Great Readers underneath him, who serve as the council. He doesn't work with the day-to-day, but he does all the major decisions and is sort of like the head. If you get take like the College of Winterhold, for example, and the Archmage, sort of that position, and then you've got the Great Readers underneath him, which is all of them that I mentioned previously, who run the day-to-day, all in different sections of study. But he is the main figurehead for Candlekeep. As you see him sat there with all these stairs, and it's a very hostile environment. It feels very cold in here, and it feels very quiet. And again, as I mentioned the fiddle before, it seems like you have a fight in your hand. As Elminster walks in, his walking stick echoing across the chamber, walking forward, and he looks over at the rest of you, the Nine Hells. He's like, "Well, I've come here to ask for aid, so if any of you want to intervene at any point, if you feel like the conversation is going south, feel free to. We've going to take a lot to sway these lot, especially that Archibald. He's more stubborn than I am." As he walks over, and essentially, I'm not going to RP this because one, it's going to take a fucking lot, and I'm not that talented. But two, I quite like the idea of a scene playing out with the three Silverhead sisters behind him. You've got Archibald, who is this equally arrogant, elderly wizard, basically trading jibes, trying to one-up each other with Elminster. And Elminster, in this conversation, is basically saying, you need to bring your mages into the fold. You need to help us basically do an extraction mission with Cormyr to bring all the knights over to help with the coming fight. We need the mages. Without them, we can't get the Purple Dragon Knights over. And with Archibald saying, you know, why should we? We need to protect the books. The Army of the Dead is on our doorstep. If they do get past the defences, you know, they could attack Candlekeep and they need to be there. La da 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 da. So that's sort of the scene coming out, and it's coming to a stalemate, the debate, as you three are you four with Belladonna are standing at the edge of the chamber, watching this unfold. What are you all doing?
Well, this doesn't seem to be going anywhere fast, does it?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. I cast mass suggestion. No, I don't.
And a fireball lands on your nose.
I really don't know what to say.
I do. If I may interject.
You see the chamber falls silent, and all the Great Readers look over at you.
The fact that we're still stood here having this argument, to me, is ridiculous, as it should be to all of you. Clearly you're some of the greatest minds on the continent, but yet you still can't manage to see the fact that if you don't act now, there won't be any more books to safeguard. Will burn down along with the rest of the entire world. There won't be a Candlekeep, and no Candlekeep means no books. So, if we could stop squabbling.
You see Archibald kind of adjusting his chair, and he's like, sorry, hey, who are you?
My name is Gregory Weisenhorn.
I've never heard of that name before. Have we heard of that name before? And he looks over at the Great Readers, and you see they're all shaking their heads. He's like, no, we haven't heard that name before. What qualifications do you have?
He's with me.
Oh.
Jator Josie Vordrick Fiddlesong Goldflight.
Jator Josie Fiddlesong Gold. Do we know a Jator? And you see before he finishes that off, he's see Branchfrax like, yes, this is Fiddle. You know, the young prodigy I had a few years ago. Very bright lad. And you see Archibald's like, very well, you both may approach. Or all three of you may approach. Who are you? You all just stand there, just eyeballing us. Like, why are they here, Elminster? And you see he's like looking around for all of you three, or Belladonna included, to join in on the debate.
We are the Nine Hells. We've been aware of this threat to the prime material plane for months now at this point, and we've been pushing a concerted effort to try and save the world. The problem is we're doing it alone so far. We're asking for help. And we're asking for the best, because we need the best.
And
honestly, looking at the world the way it is currently, it's like a blacksmith caring for his most prized sword, making sure it's the sharpest in his store. Never uses it for training because it's, far too precious for that. But then when bandits run into his home and are burning it down, instead of grabbing the sharpest sword and the best made one, he grabs a hammer because he doesn't want to blunt his sword.
All right. Is this story going anywhere? Because I honestly have other things to do today, and I can't stay all day just listening to analogies about blacksmiths. All right, I'm way too important to be listening to about this. So what's your point?
Do you want to save the world, or would you rather the world ends?
Rather the world keeps on turning, as it does.
Good. Then please render
Well, you don't do anything,
aid.
it won't.
Yeah, you need to render aid. It's as simple as that.
It's not a do you want to. And of course you have a choice, but there is only one correct answer. And it's yes, you do help.
You see, he looks over and he's like, listen, how well do you lot know our histories? Because it seems to me every time there is a world-ending threat, and I've lived through quite a few now. I know some of you, and he looks over to you, John Claude, and you, Gregory, almost like as humans, so kind of like assuming. I know you're not very elderly races. I have lived through quite a few times. I've lived through the time of troubles. I've lived to see the aftermath of Cassus's folly. Obviously I wasn't there for that, but I've seen a lot. And do you know what people used to always say during those times? It was the end of the world. The world is going to die. And do you know what happened? It kept on turning.
Because somebody stepped up and did something, you moron.
You see all the great readers sort of shuffle on the spot, eat awkwardly at the comment. And you see Archibald just sit back onto a seat with like a smirk, almost a smirk of like, you fucking cunt. And he's just like, so what are you all going to do then? You going to slay Asarak? How are you going to do that?
Well, we've got his fucking phylactery, you idiot.
You see all the great readers all look over at Archibald. You see he leans forward and he's like, is that so? Do you have it with you?
We do.
Well, show us.
Oh, sorry, no. Sorry, I didn't think you wanted anything to do with this, so why should we show you it?
You see, he's like eyeballing you, Gregory, and he's like, you! And he shouts over to you, John Claude. You've been quite quiet. Is there something you're staring at in particular, or you just like observing people?
No, my social battery just ran out, I'm afraid.
You see, you see Archibald just sort of sighing. You're expecting Candlekeep. Sorry. Requesting or asking for aid, however you want to sugarcoat it. You're asking for me to put my students, my learned teachers, in mortal danger for
by doing nothing. You're
phylactery.
putting them in
Hang on,
danger.
shut up. Keep going.
Okay.
Not you.
Me?
No.
As I was saying, thank you. And he sort of like gives you one of those like knowing nods, but he's like, oh. You're asking me to put my students in mortal danger for a so-called phylactery that you say exists, that you say is in your possession. Now, I'm sorry, but that's a lot of trust that we're having to put in you that you're not putting in us. So,
No,
from my standpoint...
fine. I'm happy to show you the phylactery and all of that stuff, but you're being a big fucker baby, if I'm honest with you. So I think you need to put your big boy pants on and realise that the world's ending. I don't see anything outside of these 4 fucking round walls. I don't know what the world's like.
my students? Where?
Like,
You see how...
seriously, you need to like just sort of get a grip, to be honest with you. So
I'm sorry, do
we
all
have
of
the
you answer
phylactery.
to this moron?
We want to destroy the phylactery, and specifically, we would very much like your help, because we think you can help. Because as I heard Fiddle say earlier, you've got an awful lot of knowledge in here that you sort of lock away and go, the world's ending, if only there was something we could do while sat on the cure.
Yeah.
So yes, please, here's the phylactery. Fiddle, Gregory.
Here you
Okay.
go. And I pull the phylactery out of the bag of holding.
Okay, so you show the phylactery after JC, you kind of step forwards, give this almost a rundown of the whole Great Reader table. Right, how I'm going to do this is I want one of you to roll me persuasion, one of you to roll me intimidation, and the other one to roll me performance.
I'll do intimidation.
Persuasion, please.
Yeah, I got a plus
No.
8 performance, so I'll take performance. Sounds good. Persuasion and intimidation. You've got a plus 4 intimidation, but I assume Bobby's got higher.
Yeah,
I've got a plus 8 to both performance and persuasion, but you've got a minus 1 to performance.
Yeah, okay. I'll do persuasion.
Sounds good. 3, 2, 1, roll! Nice, 22.
18.
Sorry,
12.
what was that? So, 12, 18,
22.
22. Okay, John Claude, you present the phylactery, and again, it's not in the bubble anymore. It's got like this magical kind of rune in it that's suppressed the magic for 3 days. So you can hold it safely without it harming you. You present it to the Great Reader's table, and you see all of them sit up on their seats and look over at the table. They seem very aware about this whole situation, and seeing the phylactery, they're like, shit, like, the threat is real. You know, it's like seeing is believing, right? And you see the Keeper of the Times very agitated about the tone of your voice that you've all spoken to him. Seems to be looking over all the Great Readers. And you see Brantifact steps up and he's like, I for one vouch for Fiddle and his friends. They are, well, they're heroes. They will save the world. I believe we should give them full reign of the library, and we should help.
Like this guy.
Yes.
Everyone listen to that guy.
Yeah, high five to this guy. Woo!
Yeah, this guy's great. He understands.
That's good. We like this guy.
You see the very beautiful featured drow, Avondar, Alof, stands up. I concur with Brantifact.
Hey, we like this guy too. Yes,
We should
3
help.
cheers for these 2 guys.
You see
Huzzah!
We
Finland
don't want to
Cannavaro.
take anything from you. I can't stress this enough. This isn't for personal gain. We don't want anything. We won't take anything with us. Well, unless it's necessary for the quest. But I don't know what you think we're here for, to everybody else in the room. The world's ending. I'm quite tired of having this conversation.
Honestly, if we had the choice, we'd go home. We don't have that choice anymore.
We're kind of tired now.
And Andrew then, I would have gone home months ago.
You see Archibald.
I've got a bakery
stand up.
and a lady friend who I keep getting killed all the time, or nearly. You think I want to do that? And also, if we can't find a way to destroy the phylactery, I'm going to have to kill Belladonna, or she's going to have to kill me, right? trust me, this really isn't in my best interest. But oh wait, it is, because the fabric of reality is sort of, So I think it's in your best interest too, everybody. It's not about me, it's not about Fiddle or Gregory or how grumpy and tired and dirty and gross we are. We need help from every able-bodied anybody. Please.
You see the druid-looking fellow with the long, rugged beard and the rags on his head, great reader Bartholomew, stands up. He's like, yes, the crazy human has a point. I concur. We should all help in this effort. It shouldn't be just these individuals suffering for our greater good. And you see Keeper of the Tomes looks over at Great Reader Finland Cannavaro, the elderly gnomish fellow, very green beard and like flicked up long white hair, stands up and he's like, the book should be preserved. Always. This is our greatest duty as great readers. I think we should abstain. We should let them have free reign of the library, but that's it. No aid from Candlekeep. And you see the Keeper of the Tomes nods in defeat to him, but in success to you all. Stands up and he's like, yes, well, that's 3 votes to 1. So Candlekeep will join your fight. You'll have free reign of the library, 9 Hells Company, and Elminster will help in extracting the Purple Dragon Knights from Cormyr to help in the fight at Cloud Peaks. You see Elminster, who is sort of unsteady on his walking stick, putting all his weight on it. Thank you, Archibald. I know we don't see eye to eye, but this is it's just the right thing to do. And he looks over to you three. These are good
hip,
people.
Hurrah!
Huzzah! Hip hip!
Huzzah!
Huzzah! Hip hip! Huzzah!
Huzzah!
How is that even in question? It's the right thing to do. I don't understand. We keep having these arguments with people.
It's fine. It's okay. It's fine.
Like
We'll
at a
talk about it
certain
later.
point, they have to just realise that they're just being
fine.
facetious.
It's fine.
The next...
Before they change their minds, huzzah! Quick to the libraries.
Let's go to the library. Thank you very much, Archie.
You see he hates it that you say that. So, in the next day, because this is sort of how we're doing this, you've been given lodgings while you're at Candlekeep to do your research. Again, you are on some sort of time frame with the phylactery, 3 days. Brantefract has come up to you, Fiddle. They've organised all the mages to essentially start using teleportation circles, because they can ritually cast that, to start teleporting all the Purple Dragon Knights with Queen Alusair to Candlekeep. He asks for your help in that effort as well. He says every single mage needs help to extract that many people in the short amount of time they're doing it, because they're trying to get people in the next 5 days to start marching towards Cloud Peak. So he asks for your help, but that means you won't be able to help with the research with the library, and it'll be up to Gregory and John Claude. That's up to you, obviously, if you want to do that or not.
Yeah, no, sorry. We've been given our task. We have 3 days to complete this. I don't want my friends to die.
Okay.
Get as many people as you can. Yeah.
Fused teleports.
Phil, I suggest that you do. I mean, me and JC, we are capable, and we will need every able-bodied person here and ready to fight. So if you could lend a hand.
We do, but I mean, they've got every wizard who's capable of casting teleportation circles to cast them. That's, going to be quite a few wizards there. I'm going to be one of many there. Getting a few more knights into the battle? Well, the battle's a bit useless unless our enemy is mortal. So I'm going to focus on making the man mortal, not getting a few more people to fight him. Does that make sense?
It does, but I understand.
Okay. That's a valid choice, by the way. Okay, so you spend the rest of this day perusing the archives of Candlekeep. So, in the annotated map, you will see. So you've got at the north side of the ward, you've got the North Library, the East Library and the West Library. It's all separated up into different clusters of buildings. There are bridges that are connecting each and every one, with courtyards in the middle of all three. They all kind of surround a big courtyard. Now, I'm basically going to have you sort of tell me what kind of research you're doing, and roll an investigation for those specific kinds of research into those specific fields. So if there's anything you have in mind, Fiddle, or John Claude, or Gregory, now's the time.
Okay. Let's find out exactly what's been done with phylacteries before. How people have created them, how people have destroyed them. Maybe one of us should do some research on how this one was specifically made, if there's any research on that at all. Just, Aceract in general. Who has the highest history? Roll.
I got +7.
That's better than both mine and JC's. Okay, so Gregory, I think you should research the history of Aceract specifically, to see if there's any mention of his phylactery being created in any sort of historical times.
Will do.
I'm going to search specifically about...
well, don't we already know? We already know how it was created.
We do. It was, created in a fire thing, wasn't it?
No, I mean, we've seen it already, the visions, so we're all pretty much clued up about how that goes.
You are right. I was just hoping for more clues, essentially. Whether there was any specific spells or anything. I don't know. I really don't know. We should just generally search, I suppose. I think I'm going to research specifically, or more in general terms, about phylacteries. To see whether they always are, created similarly, whether they're created separately. I think that's a good starting spot. Whether any have been defeated before. Maybe that's what you should look up with your history, bro. Like, whether you can find any notable cases of destroyed phylacteries. And I'll look in a more arcane sense at phylacteries in general.
Okay. Sounds good.
JC,
Suppose I'll look for the manufacture of phylacteries.
Yeah, that works. We already know how this specific one was done, but looking at their general use, we might find out that they always require a sacrifice. We might find out that only sometimes they do. We could find out things like that. So the history of destroyed phylacteries, the magic of phylacteries, what their actual mechanics are behind them. Even though we sort of already know a lot of these specifics, but
we need more.
We need more, and then JC will look into the manufacture. Anything about the manufacturing of them? Yeah.
You've essentially got like a kind of a broken jigsaw puzzle, and you just need the rest of the pieces just to fill in the blanks.
So I'm hoping that I can roll an Arcana check, Bobby can roll a history check, and JC can roll an investigation check.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you reason it, this is sort of like an RP research sort of thing. So as long as your reasonings are sound, I will allow it. So how I'll do this is I have all of you roll me a d20, and this will decide in what order we go in.
There you go. Nobody get a 20.
19.
13. 17. All really good rolls.
19, 17, 13. Okay.
Now get ready for our 2-2-1.
Fiddle. Okay, so Gregory, tell me specifically what you're researching.
On processes of destroying phylacteries, so how previous phylacteries have been destroyed.
Okay. Roll me a. Is it a history check you're
doing? Yeah.
Okay, roll me a history check. By the way, all of your rolls will have advantage as well because you're all kind of helping out each other.
Okay.
Very nice.
That's 26.
26. Okay, so going through the history, I don't have a whole encyclopedia in the back of my head, but the liches that come to the books that you find straight away, one of them that is currently existing is one called Zaztam, who is the leader of the Red Wizards of Fae. You've met such Red Wizards.
We have in the D&D movie.
Yeah, I remember that.
Sponsor us, please.
I think we only watched it. We might have watched it twice. I don't
So
remember.
it's on Amazon now.
Is it?
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Might give that another watch. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I did it. I really liked it. I love that movie. Owlbear was my favourite.
That was good.
Oh, was he? You didn't mention that before, Josh. I'm only joking.
Got him.
Okay. Yeah, quick Google's not helping us out either. So, there are a number of records of liches throughout Faerun history. I don't have all of them off the top of my head. The main one and probably the major character in Faerun is Zaztam. I'd say is one of the most iconic ones. You have got one that was based off the wall in the Warlock's Crypt, which is a place on the Faerun map along the Sword Coast. And there would have been accounts of them in Neverese. I can't remember specifically, but I know there were lich or people that achieved lichdom through that were Neverese. So the process in destroying it, because that's what you asked for specifically, right? How they were destroyed.
Yeah.
So each phylactery, to read off the monster manual, is destroying a lich's phylactery is no easy task and often requires a special ritual, item or weapon. Every phylactery is unique, and discovering the key to its destruction can be a quest in and on of itself. So every time you've come across a story of a previous lich, because there have been a number of them throughout Faerun history, each time it talks about a brave adventuring party that has destroyed the phylactery. The phylactery has come in different shapes and sizes, and the key to destroying it has been all different methods, in the sense of each phylactery has been created uniquely and is also equally as unique in destroying it. So there is no base method for destroying a lich's phylactery, because there is the method to creating it isn't a simple one either. Most of it, as I said, requires a special ritual, item or weapon. They are the ways to destroy the phylactery. So you know it's either a special ritual, item or weapon. There's no other ways of like destroying it. You can't just throw it in a volcano, unless that comes in the special ritual, I guess. It's quite all covering with that. In terms of looking for Asarak and mentions of him or it, sorry, I feel like I just referenced Asarak as him, but I do kind of mean it. I've corrected myself several times already with that. The only things you can find on him are 2 storybooks. One about the Luminous Fisherman,
Yeah.
and the other one about the House of Dark Consumption. There seems to be no other written text on him, and there's also been a study in Candlekeep, an essay that's written on these books itself. Because with Candlekeep and how vast and how big it is, like if you imagine you've got just huge chambers, absolutely massive, almost cave-like, that have like pillars just stacked full of books, and these pillars are thick with books. There's just catalogues of stuff. And the essay is basically essentially saying how it mentions the correlating thing about these 2 things. It's almost like the beginning research of what Elminster was doing before you lot picked it up. But it basically confirms that Asarak is not of this world. It's this lich that has reappeared in different stories is in fact a lich from Oearth, which is a different world entirely. So you can kind of confirm that which you already know. It also mentions a sub-tab in here, and it says about Asaract and something that has been described in its image has been going around in the Divine Planes, just travelling there, free of will, has been usurping monikers. And the only one written down here is saying that this Asarac usurped the moniker of Malar. It took Malar and took control of it, which is information, again, you already know, but that was its first steps in ascending to godhood. But that's where this essay ends. So you don't have any more information, but maybe a clearer picture.
Yeah, dead-ended in that one in terms of new information.
Yeah.
So from what I've gathered from that, we have to burn a loved one in a shack by a lake.
It seems like that is the way to destroy it from that specific information, yes.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, moving on to the next one is... sorry, can you roll me a d6, please, Gregory?
Yes. A 3.
3. It took you 3 hours to conduct that research. Okay, JC. Please tell me the research you're conducting.
I would like to go to the Tower of Elixir, please, and look at potions. I've changed my plan. I have an idea.
Okay. So, you've been given free reign, and it's weird. As everyone is off on this effort to teleport basically half of Cormyr over to here, it's almost like it's like vacated. You've just got all these like understudies that are almost like standing guard. So you can walk up to him, almost blag your way into any sort of room. And yeah, what normally would have been an absolute ball ache to just argue your way in, you just kind of walk into the Tower of Elixir. The site isn't what you expect. There's cages everywhere, like human cages. And you're like,
oh dear.
There are alchemy stands absolutely everywhere. There is like a whole chemical shop. If you imagine like Shrek 2 with the fairy godmother's like factory, you've got just everything being mass produced here. And you see there are individuals in these cages, all like like coughing, spluttering, almost like if you imagine like a Victorian London, a bunch of people with the plague, and witch doctors trying to cure them. There's almost a similar theme to that, except from these people seem to be people with innate magical abilities, sorcerers. And you see there's people that are like alchemists creating potions and then experimenting with these people and getting different results each time. There's a lot going on here, but there is also a lot of potions. So, what is your plan, John Claude?
I'd like to go to the people first and ask for a skilled sorcerer / alchemist.
That's easy enough to find. You see, there's this...
Does someone pipe up confidently?
Yeah, there's this elderly half-orc woman who kind of walks over to you. She's very hunched. She's got like glasses on the tip of her nose. She's like, yes, hello. Can I help you? I'm a bit busy
yes,
with my
you can.
research.
Yeah, 10 gold pieces to follow me around for the next 30 minutes, please. Not even that, probably. 20.
Is this important?
Yes. The fate of the world important.
Make it 20.
20, done.
All right. Lead the way. You see, she doesn't
Okay.
really need the money. She's kind of fucking with you.
Whatever, fine. I removed 20 gold from my...
Okay.
from my
Reluctantly
wallet.
give it to the half-orc old lady who just kind of puts it on the side as soon as you give it to her and then kind of follows you around.
She gets 2 platinum pieces instead.
Oh. She
Okay.
pockets that.
Okay, so what I need potions of love, please.
Of love?
I want to fall in love with an animal. Not for very long.
Okay. Where's this guy, Josh? Okay, so yeah, you've got I believe it's pronounced filter of love. Is that filter?
Let's have a look.
Is it filter of love or filter of love? Philter.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's essentially your love potion. It's like a charmed effect.
Oh no.
Normally attracts you regarded as your true love while you are charmed.
Oh man, what am I normally attracted to? Sheep.
Needs to be the creature needs to be a species and gender you are normally attracted to.
Okay, amazing. So the half-orc lady helps me find this.
Yes, yeah. There is the whole shit ton that you can choose from. Like, you know, take as many as you want.
But this is the love potion. I can't imagine you have many. This is basically this is my option. This is my choice here, right?
You'd be surprised. A lot of people ask for these potions over in Waterdeep and Baldur's Gate.
Okay, perfect, amazing. Can you improve this? You said you're skilled in alchemy. Can you change it?
Make it permanent? Is that what you want?
No, I don't want to make it permanent. I want to make the effects of the charm more freeing, more open. Like I said, right, let me explain to you what I've got to do. I need to murder someone I love to save the world. Or not me specifically. Somebody needs to murder someone they love, and I'm trying to avoid killing a person. Do you have any deathly sick old people I could borrow? I'm really clutching at straws here.
You see, like, I imagine, like, JC is, like, kind of fumbling through this conversation, like, very, like, socially awkward, and she's just taking it all in, nodding, and she's just slowly sipping a cup of tea.
Yeah.
And she looks down at your feet, starts nodding, and then, as you say, sickly old people, she's like, yeah, we got a few. How much is it worth to you?
Well, I'd like them to be willing, to be honest with you, sort of like euthanasia.
I can make them willing, don't worry about that.
No.
It's alright, we've had a few of your kind in here before, it's all good.
No
shame.
Oh,
shame.
You're not... Fine. No. Well, I'll take this potion. 20 gold pieces, and this is the best you've got for me? This is bullshit.
I can whip you up something better.
You can. Good. Okay. So, please make me fall in love with an animal. Something like an ant. An ant? A sheep? Anything. Anything that we won't feel guilty about murdering. I need to kill somebody. Remember? Look, listen to me, and say it back to me. In order to save the world, I, Jean-Claude, need to murder someone I love.
In order to save the world, I, Jean-Claude, need to murder someone I love.
Right. Help me, please, so I don't have to murder my partner.
Okay.
We haven't actually discussed it, so we might just be friends. But
alright.
Have we discussed it?
It's going to take me a couple of hours, but I think I can whip up something for you.
Alright, amazing. Fine. I'll be back. What time is it now?
I don't know. Is it still day out?
It is. Have you got a clock?
Tower.
Hey Siri, what time is it?
Hey Siri.
Amazing. It's 9:39 in the morning.
Alright. If you come back about midday, 1 o'clock, I might have something for you. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Fine. Can I keep this potion anyway? And you work with other ones around you.
20 gold.
20 more.
Yeah, 20 more.
Done. Actually, for 20 more, I need that done by like sort of 11:15.
It gets done when it gets done.
Fine. 20 gold. 2 more platinum pieces.
Pleasure doing business with you. And she gives you like a wink.
Thank you very much. See you soon, darling.
And you see she goes off to an alchemy lab and starts like... she seems to like really like very disturbingly enjoy her work. Ooh, okay.
I would like to go off and rummage around and do other stuff since I have time, but I appreciate we must proceed. So, but I don't think I could probably do much more.
Well, I mean, you can do if you want to say specifically if there's anything you want to do.
Yeah, I'd like to go to the offices next, please, and sort of repeat my mantra of I need to murder someone in order to save the world. How can I... Ideas, please. Let's go.
Okay, so you're just asking around as a sounding board, seeing if anyone's got any advice.
Yeah, you know, repeating that sort of that similar mantra. I need to murder someone I love in order to save the world. Well, what's the least painful way we can do this? Do you have any ideas? I've got somebody working on a potion now that might make me fall in love with a sheep or something, but I can't guarantee murdering the sheep will be good enough to destroy the phylactery, you know, so... But if you've got anything, you know, really clutching at straws here, otherwise I'm probably going to die. So,
okay.
I'd love to help. Thanks, friends.
Roll persuasion check.
Okay. Is it too late to use my inspiration? No, I won't. 11.
From asking about all the students, the students, the teachers, they all seem pretty taken aback by the love potion thing. This is sort of Ollie speaking through him in a way, and it's like, that might actually do the trick. Might be a good loophole for working. In terms of other loopholes, no one seems to know any, but someone does mention that they remember recalling there is another method for destroying a phylactery, but they can't recall the specifics of it. But it doesn't involve killing a loved one.
Okay, amazing. Come with me, please. Can you? Wait, no, doesn't matter. I'll come back to you. I'll be back in a minute. Can I run back to my other lady and then go and ask her for a potion of remembering? Shut up.
She's about an hour done with this potion. She's like halfway through. She's like, yes.
Could you point me to potions of remembering? Up, down, left, just the general direction. Just point and grunt. Please.
It's going to be another 200 gold.
Fuck off. 200 gold? Never mind, don't worry about it. Investigation check.
Okay, probably an investigation. You find some potion of remembering. I don't know what.
I'll run back to my bloke who said he thinks he remembers about some phylactery that's going to be different anyway, but I want to know what he has to say about the subject. Please drink this.
I don't know if there is a potion of remembering.
You told me I found it too late.
Yeah, no. I'll put myself in it.
Memory. No. Remember. Potion of remembering.
I don't think there is, you know.
Fine. What else?
There's a potion of forgetting.
I don't have enough time to have a... Right, okay. Well, I might go back to her. Can I go into... Okay, fine. I find no potions of remembering.
So this is sort of stuff I would say, like, you could, like, personally request for, or if you were proficient in brewing, I would say you could create your own sort of potions to do it, but in terms of, like, the actual catalogue for D&D, there isn't a potion of remembering. But I do like where the thought process is, though. Like, it's quite out of the box thinking. I quite like it.
Okay, well, I'll let Fiddle go.
That's all right. Well, I would say after your 2 hours, you go back to the old lady anyway.
Yeah.
And she goes, here you go, dear. One very strong love potion. And she kind of hands it over to you. And she's like, I've specifically tuned it so you fall in love with a cat. And then you can do whatever you need to do with that.
Sinister. I like it. Very well. Thank you very much, darling.
Okay.
You've been an absolute pleasure.
Oh.
And your aroma is just gorgeous.
You see she starts biting her bottom lip and sort of looking you up and down. She's like, so's yours, darling. Come back soon.
Gotta go.
Okay.
Give her a wink. I'm off.
She gives you like a slap on the arse as you run off.
Jean-Claude
loves the old ladies. Okay, right. Fiddle.
Yes.
Same thing as I've said to the other two.
So, yeah, to begin with, Fiddle would just like to research phylacteries in general. He's also milling over some other things, but phylacteries and how they specifically relate to lichdom and how that situation works.
Okay.
The actual, like, the mechanics that go on behind the scenes. You mentioned that there was, they don't cohere to the weave. So where does that magic come from?
Okay, and this is going to be an Arcana check, correct?
Yeah, please.
Okay, roll me an Arcana check. Remember, this is with advantage as well, so how I'm kind of picturing this is
Beautiful.
like JC would come in and help you fiddle for like 15 minutes and then head off, and then Gregory will come in, obviously going to collect a book and say, oh, maybe you should check this page, and, walking off.
Perfect. Yeah, that's a 31.
My God. Okay. So, pertaining to how you create lichdom is right, let's just go through. So, to read off the monster manual, no wizard takes up the path of lichdom on a whim. The process of becoming a lich is a well-guarded secret, and it is a very long process. Wizard usually gets information from a fiend, an evil god, or other foul entities that will kind of sort of incite the evilness of it. However, they demand a service in return, hence why a lot of liches are in servitude. A lich is created by an arcane ritual that traps the wizard's soul within a phylactery. Doing so binds the soul to the mortal world, preventing it from travelling to the outer planes after death. A phylactery is traditionally different shapes, an amulet or small box. And the dark magic is inscribed in silver onto whatever the object is. While the phylactery is prepared, the future lich drinks a potion of transformation, a vile concoction of poison mixed with the blood of a sentient creature whose soul is sacrificed to the phylactery. So in order to create the phylactery in the first place, you got to find an item, inscribe silver in it, and you got to drink a concoction of poison mixed with the blood of whoever you sacrificed. The wizard falls dead from the poison and rises a lich as its soul is drawn out of its body and into the phylactery where it remains. So that is how a phylactery is created. It is also maintained through the same thing. A phylactery requires periodically feeding of souls, and this is all part and parcel of it is arduous being a lich. There is a lot of process and upkeep to it. You know that when a lich's body is destroyed, its soul goes back to the phylactery, and after a certain amount of time it sort of comes out from the phylactery once more, and then the phylactery is destroyed. So you can kill a lich, and then it will use that phylactery, destroy it, and it will come back, and then that lich needs to create another phylactery in order to maintain the immortality. So if you kill a lich twice, it's dead forever. There is another method. There is also a third one, because you rolled a 31.
Yeah.
That you read in between the lines. You can also starve a lich to death. The phylactery needs periodically to feed souls to maintain the magic. If you don't maintain the magic of the phylactery, its body, so the Lich's body, may fall apart, and eventually it almost becomes feral and becomes a demi-Lich. So it stops regaining all its senses. It almost just becomes like an animal if it doesn't feed the phylactery, which maybe isn't a solution, but the Lich Aceract will cease to be, and it'll just become like a bit more of a mindless undead husk that can cast spells. You also know that if anything's been sacrificed recently to the phylactery, within 24 hours, if you use a 9th level Dispel Magic on it, you can release the creature. After the 24 hours, the creature is consumed and destroyed utterly. So, out of your Arcana check, you've learnt of 2 new methods.
Interesting. So how long do I think it would take to starve a Lich into demi-Lichdom?
So, there's no specific time for this, but so it takes 24 hours to consume, and then it requires souls periodically. Now, if I go off the Tomb of Annihilation book, which the whole premise of the book is based around Acerak, and he sets up a tomb for the traps for adventurers to go in and brave through. Basically, many adventurers die, and when they die in this tomb, they get absorbed into the phylactery. Now, adventurers come and go, so there are spaces in between. I will say, with your 31, you'll be looking at from anywhere between 3 months, 2 to 3 months, to a year.
Okay, so nothing we can do in 3 days.
Nothing you can do in 3 days. But, yeah, there is a time period to that, but that is also a method.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, so...
Is there anything else you want to glean from that, or are you happy with
yeah,
it?
I think with his 31, I think Fiddle would like to know where he's going to go if he dies. Because I think he's worried about it. He sort of, definitely, he wasn't there when JC said it, but JC's probably said it once or twice. Okay, don't we just know any, like, sick old people who are terminally ill? And every time that JC has said something like that, Fiddle has thought to himself, well, I am getting on a bit. And I think I might be terminally ill with the weave collapsing. I think I might die soon anyway, so there is an obvious choice. So I think he's just feeling a bit, feeling his mortality a little bit. So he'd like to know what would happen to his soul if he dies. Maybe some way to, you know, fix that.
Okay. Roll me a d6, Fiddle.
Will do. Three.
So, after all your research, JC, you're the first to finish. You're waiting around for about an hour before Gregory and Fiddle come and find you, about simultaneously. As you're sort of like sat in a almost like a large library. There's like loads of like different benches with like floating lights that are creating a nice low atmosphere in this room. As you're sort of waiting around, there's a little lounge area with a fireplace where you can chill out or, you know, sit down. But that is where you are hanging out, John Claude, before Gregory and Fiddle come in almost at the same time in different directions.
Well, I learned nothing new.
Me neither, really. Did find out that you can starve a Lich and it goes mental. I'm not sure that would actually be beneficial though, having Aceract just a madman instead of a clever madman. But yeah, it would take, you know, months, year maybe.
And we can kill him twice.
We can kill him twice.
Well, you kill him the first time, he pops back out of the factory and you kill him again.
Hmm.
Oh, actually, instead of sitting down for that hour, could I have spent that hour looking for a cat?
Looking for another cat.
Yeah, roll me another investigation check.
Thank you.
This time I'll say it's a flat roll because no one's helping you. Because yeah.
Oh, that was flat last time.
Oh shit! Well, should have been with advantage.
Well, can this one be with advantage?
Yeah, why is he rolling investigation? Surely it's a survival check to find a cat.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, you can make an argument for that.
He's
Yeah,
a
gun
hunter.
an advantage.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Okay. Wait. Investigation? Or survival?
Whatever you prefer.
Okay. 21.
Nice.
21.
Need at least
Okay,
a 40
so-
to catch a cat.
You start looking around Candlekeep, and you go high and low. Again, there are just a miasma of different buildings. You can easily climb onto rooftop of one that almost acts as like a small staircase up into another rooftop, and you start searching around for an hour, and you see one. It's right at the edge of a rooftop, a little ginger cat that seems to be there, and it seems to be on the balcony of someone's little home, their little kind of dormitory.
I'm gonna go
And
steal a kitten from a child.
you see there's this
You're an asshole.
it's this human male, and he's got like bright rosy cheeks, a bushy beard, and he's just like do 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 do, and he seems happy as Mary, just folding up his clothes and putting them away in the wardrobe, and you're like and then you look over out past the inner wards, and you hear this meow. It just recognises instantly. I don't know how, don't ask me, but you look past the wall and you see coming out of the pillars of pedagogy all the purple dragon knights coming from Cormyr, all coming to aid in the war effort, and you see one of the knights is holding a black cat in his arms. Oh shit, it's the one from the Royal Ball, the one you left.
The one I never gave a name to because it died
the-
instantly.
Yeah, the one it's that cat. It's some knight has taken care of it and is now like on his shoulder, just sort of like powering nicely, and you spot it from this rooftop, and you're looking at a ginger cat, and then your old cat, and a ginger cat.
Can't steal your old cat. Somebody's taking care of it. You can't steal it just to kill it.
He's a member of the Nine Hells. This other cat's a civilian. Has to be my cat.
Fair. That was a really good justification, to be fair. That was really well done.
Okay, so I'm gonna have you roll me a persuasion check to basically run out
Yeah.
into the court of air and persuade this knight that you do own the cat to begin with, and you need to
I'm
take
not
it
gonna
back.
mention the. Yeah, I'm not mentioning the death thing.
Yeah,
Persuasion.
persuasion.
Would he take money for the cat?
No.
Then he doesn't give me the cat.
What'd you roll?
I've got a 9.
9. Okay. So, as the hour passes, and you both walk into the room, and JC, you walk back into the room. JC, you take 5 points of bludgeoning damage, as you have your old cat back in your arms, but you see JC walks in with a black eye, as he has just fought someone off for a cat.
Cool. Nice.
As you all kind of walk in simultaneously, Gregory, you're like, oh, I haven't learned anything new, and then Fiddle's like, oh, I learned you can starve a lich, and then John Claude, you come slamming into the study with a black eye and a cat.
Ta-da! Aren't I useful as ever?
What?
Look at this cat I found. Well, I hope you guys did something useful.
So you didn't
I don't mention my plan.
you didn't learn anything now.
What did you guys learn?
So you can.
Not much
You can
either,
kill
but at least we were trying.
kill a
Well,
lich
actually,
twice.
so I do have a very strong love potion.
Oh yeah.
So that opens up our victims.
see. She calling them victims.
It's not
A problem.
really.
Tribute?
Tribute is better. Gives them a bit more
Sacrifice.
dignity.
Volunteer is what I would like.
Volunteer would be good. We're still
What about
killing someone
martyr?
though.
Yep.
It's got to be a sacrifice from our end, right?
Yeah.
It's a problem.
Yeah, I'm going to stop by the old people's home on the way out.
We don't love any old people.
That's what the love potion's for.
I see.
Well, what
So you
about
might be able
this?
to trick it that way, but you also might not. You might just kill an old granny for no reason.
They'll die when the world ends anyway.
This is true.
It's irrelevant.
So you can kill a
rubbish.
lich twice.
There's got to be another way.
Well, you can kill it twice. So you kill Asarat for the first time, he pops out of his phylactery, the phylactery breaks, but we put this phylactery in a place where we know he's going to come back, and then we get the world's most powerful mages to zap him as soon as he hops out.
Zap him. Zap. Dead. I mean, yeah, that is one option. I'm not entirely... Are we certain that's how that works? And that he doesn't just... come out of
that's
his phylactery
basically
and then,
that's
okay.
that's exactly how it works.
Good to know. We can. It's probably a good idea.
So, essentially, you have 3 courses in front of you, which I think, to be fair, might be good to have some time to think about it. You've got 1, which is tricking someone into loving you and sacrificing them. 2, killing the Lich twice. Or 3, starving the Lich by waiting a few more months. Seeing if
Can
that
we
will do anything.
justifiably wait a few months?
Thousands will die. If not
That-
tens.
That is probably the least attractive option in front of you.
I think we
imagine.
can probably write that option off. I would sooner die than hope that we are able to starve it to death whilst men, women and children fight for their lives.
Him. It doesn't stop him. He just loses his faculties and becomes crazy. He's still a very powerful Lich on the loose.
No, so not that.
Not that.
Well, then,
So we
Well,
could
I
try
say
and
the
fight
killing
him.
twice is the path of, we don't have to sacrifice anyone. We can skip that part out. We can do the original killing, and then we've just set this up in a place here, or maybe in Sanctuary, and then we just get everyone to zap him at the same time. Should just wipe him out instantly.
Should. I mean, should. Ideally, right?
Or, I do have Raised Dead,
Oh, yeah?
so we could potentially kill someone, and then afterwards I can just bring them back. Fully healed.
I assume
It's
it's
not-
going to be a pretty permanent death.
yeah. Also, Raised Dead isn't the same as like Revivify or Resurrection.
Yeah, Res Dead just brings like a body back to life as a zombie. But I was
Yeah,
thinking
the
this as
soul is-
well. Revivify.
The soul
we
is
could.
willing to come
Like
back.
Belladonna's not here with us right now. We could tell Belladonna that unfortunately she needs to kill JC. She kills him and we bring him back. But the trouble is, what if it doesn't work?